This is not appropriate music for today. Oh my gosh, we're live! We'll be right back! Oh my god.
In another life, across the sea or somewhere just as far away, I was Junior Field Medic Kiri Amaranth. Now it's usually just Kiri. It's been 14 years, 3 months, and 28 days since I've been home. I'm almost 200 years old, and sometimes I still catch myself counting the hours. I miss home. But more than home, I miss her, the Queen. The last time I saw her was when she was captured in the final days of the war, right before my exile. I just can't help but feel restless in this place. I guess that's why I took up wandering. But it hasn't been all bad. There are wonderful people in this part of the world. There's beauty, both natural and magical, just waiting to be found. And this is where I met Dev. They're not quite like anyone I've encountered before, but they remind me of home. It's been nice to have someone to travel with again. But I still call out to her every night. She never answers. I don't know if she's still out there, still alive, but I have to have faith. For myself, for my people, and for my queen.
Hi there. I'm Devereaux Thistlebrook. My family owns Featherdown Traders. It's a small farm and general merchant operation headquartered in the small hamlet of Featherton. It's just on the other side of the hills outside of Faybreach. The farm produces wonderful cheeses, and they grow, dry, and distribute many different blends of tea. My younger sister Desiree is taking over the family business for my mother. But me? I guess I'm a bit of an oddity in halfling culture. You see, most halflings are perfectly content to stay home and keep a predictable, dull routine. Ugh. Me, though? I don't care for business or homesteading or any of that predictable stuff. It's boring, mundane, sedentary. So I've decided to spend my life as an explorer, just like my dad before me. There's always so much out there to see. Plants, animals, and all manner of fantastic creatures. I just gotta get out and see it for myself. So, I use some of my skills to act as a cartographer and guide for hire for other adventurers and travelers. I also keep a journal of all my own experiences, and I catalog the strange and wonderful things that I've seen in my trips. Someday, I hope that I'll write a book of my own. And when it gets published, I can be famous. Well, I can be more famous than any other halfling I've ever heard of in the realms. You know?
Why, hello there. I'm Salix of the Evertrees. I was raised by my parents in the massive forest just south of Valzara with my brother Kendall. We are only about a year apart in age, and we've always been really close, but we're pretty different. I'm a druid of the land, tasked with the care of a very old willow tree. The magic was strong in my blood when I was younger, so I was marked with ink I made from her bark. Kendall, not so much. A while back, I also heard of the god Cord, and it struck something in me. Since then, I've been training with the monks at the monastery outside Valzara to answer the call of the Stormlord. I don't know what he has in store for me, but I know it's something important. I recently also had to get Kendall out of some trouble he got himself into after he decided to leave our people. Now we're on the road for adventure. I don't want to live without him. We belong together like tea and honey. I don't know how far I can go from my tree, though. No one in our community has ever left their grove for very long or gone very far. But I guess we'll find out. Willow will be safe with Mother and Father. I hope.
Hi there, my name's Kendall Evertree from the Evertree Grove. It's a pleasure to meet you. Where are you from? Wait, no, that's not what this is about. Let me start from the beginning. I'm Kendall Evertree, and I was born to the Evertree Grove. The Evertree Grove is south of Valzara. Normally an elf born into the grove becomes a druid, and becoming a druid means that you bond to a tree and you forever take care of it to make sure nothing ever happens to that tree. Now, although there's nothing wrong with that, that just wasn't me, which is a little strange specifically because my mom and dad are the elders of the grove, and their firstborn is kind of expected to go down that same line. And to be honest, most everybody in the Grove is a druid. Okay, everybody in the Grove's a druid except for me. I'm actually quite proud of that. There isn't really anybody in the Grove's history who didn't bond to a tree. Now, it kind of labeled me as an outcast, but that's okay with me. I don't plan on staying around too long, and I've actually left already, but I got myself into trouble. The trouble always seems to find me somehow. It's definitely not my fault. I don't care what Salix tells you. Oh yeah, and how could I tell you about myself without telling you about Salix? Salix is my younger sister and my best friend. She's basically the Grove's prodigy. She's the best druid I've ever seen. And, well, she keeps me out of trouble. We do everything together, and, well, she's my voice of reason, and without her, I don't know what I'd do. But now we're going out into the world, and we're going to explore. We're going to see every corner of this world, and the realm, I know, has a lot to offer. So if you have any place that you know is amazing, just send me a message. I'd love to see it. Well, anyways, I'll see you around.
Y'all! I'm killing it today!
We made it.
Nailed
We're
it.
here.
Nailed it!
Totally did it.
We did it.
Hello for the first time this afternoon, indeed, Mer.
Yeah?
Hey.
Yep, we got you.
Yeah, Alex, what you drinking?
I have coffee infused rum.
Okay.
Ooh.
Alright.
Send me some?
Is it just
Please.
coffee with rum in it?
How about I just pick you up and we'll go meet them down there? Wait, no, it's still Florida.
So-
Never mind. You come here.
I would send it to you, but this is the last of it.
Save it? Don't be a
I mean,
hog. You know you're
I thought we were
expecting
friends,
company.
Alex.
You're expecting oh no.
Wow.
I mean, we can't go to Florida right now. We're in Texas, and Texas and Florida are, like, the worst at this moment.
Mhm.
Like, Florida should be proud of themselves, honestly. To trump Texas and anything, good job.
Hold on though. They took forever to join the rest of the country. So they had a late start is all I'm saying.
Yeah, well. Okay. So we're gonna play some Sunday Friends today.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought we were that's okay.
I mean, we can just talk for 3 hours if you want.
I thought I was promised Invisible Sun, but it's
Oh
cool.
my god.
Invisible Sunday
Sunday
friends.
Invisible Sunday Friends.
The
is a
sun
weird
is
one.
so invisible that we can't see it.
Oh, don't worry. It's reflecting off of my pale ass skin.
Oh my
It's fine.
god.
I know that feeling.
Devereaux, you know I
Uh-oh.
adore you.
Oh no.
Why don't you give us an in-character recap?
Oh jeez. Okay. Well, I suppose the most important thing to say is we found Kiri, and we made it to the Feywild, and oh god, we trekked through the wilderness. It was kind of nice. There were a lot of giant mushrooms and fancy flowers and wonderful smells, and the city was really beautiful up on that plateau, and surrounded by the water. And well, it would have been really, really nice if the castle wasn't on fire or whatever was going on there. We got to the city and realized something was wrong because everyone was frozen in time. And I'm not from the Feywild, but that seemed really weird and kind of wrong. And Kiyu seemed to indicate that it wasn't normal anyways. And I take her word for it because she's from the Feywild. So we ran all the way to the castle because Kiri might have been in danger. And we got there and there were a whole bunch of Kiris. Excuse me, just a second. been a long day, so I figured I could use a snack. And all these Kiris were robbing themselves or their family or something. I'm not really 100% certain. Because before we could really get anything from them, Kendall and Salix started attacking them, which was kind of weird, kind of, dare I say, lame. And I wanted to protect Kiri, so I made some dust and smoke cover using my tiara, sorry, my circlet, to blast the ground and help them escape. And I felt pretty good about it up until when I didn't. And turned out those were all fake Kiris, which was actually really lame. Really, really bad. And we got upstairs to find Kiri was locked in a room with some sort of fey creature named Pax. And they looked pretty cozy. And we helped unfreeze them. And that was the right Kiri. I guess they were doing pretty good, all things considered. But we didn't get much of a chance to talk because a really big, angry Unseelie Fae showed up, and it killed Kiri's brother, which was not good. Decidedly not good. So we're helping Kiri go visit a hag to save their sibling, I guess. But we had to sneak out the back because I think, I'm not really sure Kiri's family likes them being home, or I don't know. It just feels like there's a lot of tension going on, and I haven't asked, and I mean, it didn't seem like a good time to ask because, I mean, what with the attack and the death, and, well, we've got a day to find Hag and a day to bring Kiri's brother back. So, I think that's about where we are right now. And I'm going to put another nut in my mouth.
God damn it. Okay. Did Deborah leave anything out, friends?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Nothing else important happened. It's fine.
Oh, Salix was all glowy.
Oops.
And everybody apparently wants to kidnap her or something. I don't know. She's like... some weird going on there too, but, we don't really got time to ask questions. We just got to keep moving.
Okay. We pick up just outside of the city. Kiri has just been reunited with Salix, Kendall, and Devereaux. Salix is still carrying the deceased body of Kiri's older brother, Ambrose. This is, this part of the forest is quiet. There are rocky cliff faces with mold, and not mold, but like moss and lichen that glow as you approach on either side. Trees that grow hundreds of feet tall, and where the branches and leaves should be are tops of mushrooms. They grow in various shades of orange and red and blue. And for now, you seem to be safe. Kira, you approach your friends. Can you describe... I'm so sorry. I was just going to say, can you describe what you look like?
Well, I've
How you've maybe changed in the last 6 months?
yeah, oh dear. Okay. I definitely look more tired, which is kind of weird because, prior to getting here I was out, fighting dragons and um doing all the Sunday Friends stuff. Um but broadly I would say I look about the same because elves, but I just seem to carry myself a little I'm just a little more guarded. Uh yeah, a little more guarded, a little more maybe twitchy or on edge. But I will also walk right up to Salix and offer to take my brother's body.
Vesper is here as well, I should say. Vesper and Kiyu. Kiyu is in her kitsune form with 3 tails. And Vesper has his shield on his back and his warhammer kind of held, glancing about.
Are you okay, Kiri? Do you feel strong enough to go on and carry? Because I'm okay.
Oh, yeah. I'll be fine. I think I should probably carry him.
Okay. Well, just remember that friends are here to share the burden with you. That's why we came. I will pass him off.
Take the body.
Actually, did you want to stay here for a few minutes and then get going, or do you think it's best we leave now?
We should probably leave now. We'll call her that. Somebody gave me a time limit. We should probably get moving.
Okay, well, let's go. Kyo, I think you said you know the way?
Well, sort of. She moves around, sometimes. But I can certainly try.
Okay.
Are there any...
Well, before we get going, everybody gather around. Just a moment, please. And I'm going to go ahead and cast Pass Without a Trace for all of us. So we get a +10 to stealth checks for the next hour, as long as I hold concentration.
Perfect.
And as everybody kind of gets into a circle, my tattoos start glowing green rather than golden, and the blades of grass that we're all standing around kind of light up and brighten as the light travels up everybody's bodies, and then it fades and we're all kind of covered in almost a shadow.
Awesome.
Are there any birds around, or...
Why don't you make a perception check?
Oh, that's super not great. That's a 10 total. I'll use an advantage for that.
Okay.
Oh, that's super better. That's a 17 total.
You hear some chirping sort of in the distance. There are some birds around.
Could I walk up to one and cast a Speak with Animal?
Sure, why don't you make... yeah, go ahead and cast it. What does it look like?
Okay, so this is still one of my paladin spells. I had to double check that. So it's this is a minor spell, so it's probably nothing more than a drop in temperature of a few degrees and maybe just a little bit of a dark fog forming for just a second and sort of dissipating. Now I will walk up to the nearest bird that I can find.
Starts to kind of glance at you funnily. It's listening.
Hello.
Hi!
I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm looking for somebody. Um,
Who?
a hag named Agatha.
I know her.
Can you tell me where she is?
Yeah. It's 2 days flight south. Look for the bog. She'll be in the middle.
Thank you. Return to the party. Well, she's 2 days away, which, well, we know where she is, but also that's a whole day more than we have.
What'll happen if we take longer?
Nothing good. I imagine I'll probably be arrested. I hope not.
Vesper speaks up. Arrested.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Well, then we better be faster.
Yeah. Anyone have any ideas?
Are we able to leave after the 2 days? Or, I mean, are we? Did you want to stay here, Kiri?
I don't know. But either way, I have to figure out what just happened at my home before I could leave.
And do you think this hag will be able to help?
Bare minimum, she'll be able to bring Ambrose back, probably. As far as helping figure out what just happened in there, I can't be sure.
Are there any other ways we can get around without, well, are there any faster ways to get around in the Feywild?
Are there any faster ways to get around?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. Oh, that's super not great. I'm going to use another advantage. Okay, that's all right. That's 15 plus 1, 16 total.
Not that you know of, but as you start to think about this, you see Q, like, scratching your ear. Hey, Salix.
Yes,
You're a druid, right?
I am.
Do you want to see something really cool?
Always.
Okay. Well, so I can do this thing, right? Oh, I think I gotta flee. Hold on. Oh, I hate this part of the Feywild. Okay. There's a spell called Wind Walk. And when I cast it on us, we become one with the wind. It lasts for 8 hours. But we've got to be careful not to lose each other. or you're fucked.
What happens? What'll happen if that happens?
If you get lost in the Feywild on your own,
Oh. Oh, okay. That's what you're
Well-
talking. Okay.
Will we be able to see each other?
sorta.
It's up to you, Kiri. What do you think?
It's a chance, and I'm not sure we have anything else that could even give us a chance, quite frankly. So
I mean, we would have a flying speed of approximately 300 feet per round, whatever that is.
That's really, really fast.
It's very cool.
Well, I mean, what about Ambrose?
Oh. Wait.
And I turn to Kiri and I say, Kiri, I'm very hesitant to say this, but we could put Ambrose in my bag of holding. That way we don't lose him.
I agree. I was about to suggest the same thing. It's not ideal, but
He's
the best
pretty
we can do
small.
right
He could
now.
probably fit in there. Is he shorter than you are, Kiri?
by a bit.
All right, well, I open the bag as wide as it goes, and I'm like, here goes nothing.
Can I fit
Is
the
everybody
body
okay with doing
into
this?
the bag of
Make a
holding?
dexterity check.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. 17 minus 1, 16 total.
Yeah, you can.
All right.
It takes a little bit of maneuvering to get him into the bag, but you do.
Okay. Well, then we'll just think of him to bring him back out.
That's not weird.
It's actually a lot easier than you'd think.
Oh gosh. Oh Cord. Okay, let's go.
Okay. Now, be careful. Don't get lost. Follow me! And you watch as she begins to sing in Sylvan. The casting time is about a minute. But you watch as you and your friends begin to become less corporeal. You watch as your fingertips begin to wisp away. It travels up your arms and legs, your faces. You retain something of a humanoid shape here. But you have no bodies. You are a gaseous form. Wisps of cloud. You see Kiyu's form bound up and down a couple of times and then take off into the air, leaping in her vulpine form still. And you hear, "Follow me!" Do you?
I follow immediately
Yeah.
behind. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, trying
Okay.
to stay as close as possible to everyone else.
Now this form is, this is y'all's first time in this form, and it is going to be a challenge to manipulate yourselves. How do you think your characters are handling this?
Oh,
Deborah?
poorly.
Oh yeah? What does it look
Oh,
like for
poorly.
Deborah?
I basically get a running start, just kind of shuffling through the underbrush and everything, and as I realized, so I'm just kind of wispy, wind-ish, so just kind of like flowing in and around stuff, and then I realized, you know what? let's give it a shot. And I like jump, like just give a light jump and see how far up I just kind of rocket into the air. And if that winds up making me airborne, I'm probably screaming as I'm just like careening up into the air. Oh gods! And I'm gonna do my best to, I don't know, keep kicking and fluttering and trying to move in the direction everyone else is. Maybe
Make-
pushing off of trees and things.
Make an acrobatics check for me.
Oh wait, I'm good at this. Oh yeah, great, cool. That's an 11.
Okay. Kiri, what does this look like for you?
Well, I have some limited experience discorporating and moving, although usually that involves butterflies, and usually that's about 30 feet. So basically, I'm just going to hope that all the same principles apply, and just going to try and go for it, and probably just expend all my energy just focusing and just trying to move in the right direction and follow something that looks like a similar form.
Let me get a athletics check from you.
All right, I can do that. That is an 11 plus 8 for 19.
Beautiful. Kendall.
So this is a new experience for me, so I definitely would have wholeheartedly embraced it. And if it weren't for our current mission, I'd be more vocal about how much of it I'm enjoying it. Right now, I'm kind of just thinking about how nice this would be if we weren't specifically on this mission right now. I think that when I see Dev jump up and kind of like flounder in the air, I do the same thing, except I close my eyes and just allow like the breeze to hit my face and kind of imagine myself flying like a raven, just embracing like this quiet time and this speed and this new power that like I've never felt before. All the druids in the grove were able to turn into birds and fly and things like that. This is nothing I've ever been able to experience before.
Why don't you make a wisdom check with advantage?
Can I use a different advantage off of my advantage? Because my highest was a 9.
Oh, honey.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a 14.
Total? Okay, Salix. What does this look like for you?
Well, Salix hasn't flown before, but she is used to changing into shapes that are not her normal form. And she's learned to trust that the shape that she changes into will kind of move as it needs to, as she thinks of what needs to do. It's kind of like a natural thing. If you think about it too much, you think about the mechanics of it too much and you just can't do it anymore. At least that's the way that Salix thinks about it when she changes into a new animal or something like that. So Salix feels the change and the difference and just kind of trusts the breeze to kind of take her up, similar to how Kendall did, but a lot more natural feeling for her. But she's going to be trying to kind of make sure that everybody else doesn't get separated and lost, more than focusing on how she's flying.
Okay. All right. Oh, this is like an ominous song for what's happening. All right. It is a success for you all to stay together during this wind walk. For Devereaux, maybe a little bit more of a challenge than the rest. But Devereaux, as you continue to kind of launch yourself upwards. You feel yourself rising up above your friends. You feel something wrap around you. And Kiyu's form is bounding around yours with a vulpine smile on her face. She kind of bites at your incorporeal shirt with her incorporeal teeth and pulls you back down to the rest of them. You find yourselves traveling at, for your characters, what is the speed of light. The Feywild begins to whip past your faces at an alarming speed, 300 feet per 6 seconds, which is 50 feet per second. Yeah. Which is quite fast. The world becomes a blur, a rush of colors and feelings and sights and sounds and smells, as it all whirls past you at an unbelievable pace. What should have taken you 2 days occurs over a matter of hours. Unfortunately, you're going at such a speed that it's hard to take in any one particular sight or sound or experience, which is almost a shame considering where you are. But after several hours, you find yourselves being instructed to slow down, land, and you watch as it takes a minute, but Kiyu begins to reform herself. If you all follow suit, you find yourselves at the base of a large bog. There is darkness all around you. Underfoot, the ground is soft. You sink the longer you stand. And all about are trees that are wider than most houses, that stretch upwards and block out all light from the canopy above. There is a slight smell, an odor, a stench of decaying organic matter, root rot, standing water. The colors here are duller, muted, almost. As you land, you see Kiyu kind of picking up her paws in the muck, looking at them and kind of prancing about unhappily. She jumps up onto a tree root to kind of get herself out of the muck. Okay, what's the plan?
Would I have been able to descend slowly enough to know which direction broadly that the middle of this place is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, point in whatever direction that is.
Okay, yeah, but that's the way, but what's the plan?
Are you on good terms with Agatha?
Well, you know, she doesn't know me personally.
I'm Kiri.
Again, I don't know her personally, but we were more than likely on the same side during the war, so... If nothing else, I don't believe she'll be immediately hostile. She certainly has no reason to be.
Immediately? But it is a possibility.
Well, I mean, it's a possibility that... Just try not to use your name. And don't accept any food if it's offered to you.
Oh, we read about that in books.
Okay.
Kiri?
Yeah.
With this, if this hag were to agree to help us, would they just do it out of the goodness of their heart?
No, absolutely not. She will expect something in return, and it will be my job to fulfill that.
Oh, Kiri, just so you know, for to help,
and I lean in really, really close because I know lots of things have very good hearing here, and I say it as quietly as I possibly can into Kiri's ear.
I have quite a lot of Draconis Fundamentum still. I'd be willing to part with it, and it's valuable for any spellcaster, especially one who makes things.
And you
Makes sense.
said we shouldn't use our names. We came prepared with fake names, but what should we call you if we need to address you?
It wouldn't. To give your name out around here is a. It's. Locals don't usually make that mistake. I don't think she'll be terribly surprised if I just don't name myself. Agatha likely isn't her true name anyway, but as hags are essentially businesses, she needs some way to be identified.
Okay, well, I trust you.
So let's just not say anybody's name.
Sounds like a good idea.
I can do that.
Can you?
I'll try.
Oh.
So, Kiri,
Mm-hmm.
we're friends, but, I hope you're not offended if I don't go inside with you.
That's fine.
Okay. It's just, I didn't get this third tail by making deals with Hex, and if my elders find out, they could be really mad at me.
Yeah, no. Believe me, I, of all people, understand that.
Okay.
I walk over to Salix and I put a hand on her shoulder, just gently, so she knows that I'm right next to her. And then I ask to see if she needs help, or do you need help getting Ambrose out of the bag?
I think I can manage it, but do we want to take him out now, or just when we get there?
You're muted.
Kiri?
We should probably wait until we get there.
Yeah, it might be easier to get through here without my hands being full.
Okay.
I found that it's a lot easier to walk through difficult terrain if I have a third hand or foot.
And I kind of tap my spear butt on the ground.
I'll walk closer to Dev. I won't really say anything when I stand next to them, and I'll just offer my right hand to them to see if they want to hold it while we walk towards Agatha.
I do not take it yet. I turn and look towards wherever. It's dark here, but can I still kind of see moderately?
Yeah, it's dim light in this bog.
Okay. I turn to Kiyu and how will we find you when we're coming back?
I'll be right here.
Okay.
Don't worry, Dev. We'll make it back here. Would you like me to give you some dark vision just in case we get in where it's darker?
No, don't worry about me. I will walk over towards Q and hold up my hand with the ring that we have. These let us talk with each other, but I figure if we're gonna split up, maybe you should have one.
Do none of you have
Just in
sending?
case.
No? Oh, okay. I mean, I can just send you.
Okay. That's fair.
I'll check in on you in a little bit.
Well, I mean, if you get in any trouble.
Oh, I'll be fine.
Okay. Just be safe. I'll turn and walk back over to Kendall.
You watch as Q shifts form all of a sudden and transforms into a large bird. Salix, you'd recognize this as Wand Shape. She flutters up into the treetops.
Well, I guess we should get going now.
Lead on.
Okay. I guess I'll leave.
Kiri,
Or someone.
Vesper, who has remained rather quiet through this whole interaction, kind of gently brushes up against you, and your hand, you feel the tips of your fingers brush just a little bit. Are you sure about this?
If none of this had ever happened, or maybe if I spent less time here, I probably would have taken his hand, but I'm not going to now. Well, I don't really have any better options, so.
All right. I'll go where you go.
Thank you, Vesper.
You all turn to face the bog. And you go in. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit of a skill challenge to see how you can get through this bog. Because the deeper you go in, the deeper the water gets, the deeper the harder it gets to traverse this difficult terrain where the water starts to come up to your ankles and then your knees. How would you like to go about this? You're muted, Deborah.
I will offer Dev a ride. If Dev would like a piggyback ride. A Debbie back ride.
Debbie back. I suppose if the alternative is being almost up to my chest / upper body in bog water, I will gladly do that this time around. So thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, I'll carry Dev.
Would nature help me? Just like
Oh yeah.
walk around? Yeah, just wanna. I'm just gonna traverse as best as I can.
Easy enough. Go ahead and roll that dice for me while I find this best playlist.
So 24 total.
Oh shit. Okay. Although you are on an entirely different plane, Kendall, you feel in this moment that there is something very familiar about this bog. And it's not that you've been here before, you've seen this before, but you've been through many bogs. And as you begin to look around and study and really focus your attention on what is around you, you sense that this is still just a bog. Yes, there are going to be dangers. Yes, there are going to be creatures. Yes, it's going to be hard. But this is something that you can do. You know, one trick is to stick close to the trees. Use their roots to bring yourself up. Unfortunately, you don't have a boat that you know of. But if you wanted to, you could take some time to fashion yourself, to collect branches and string them together to make a raft to push yourselves on if you'd like.
Would any of the players be opposed to that?
Not at all. We can do that. If Kendall offers the idea of making a boat, Salix will certainly help find things, find quality pieces of wood that are already like off of the trees and stuff to help.
I think maybe we can make this easier on ourselves if we make. Hold on, we need a raft. Hold on. And then I'm gonna start gathering wood and start fashioning one together.
Okay. Let's keep that nature check that you rolled. Would anybody else like to contribute to this? Go ahead. What would you like to roll, Eris?
I'm also going to look for good wood that'll still pretty green, so it'll float well.
Yeah.
So survival?
Let's go ahead and use. Yeah, go ahead and use survival.
Great. That's 14.
Okay. Aziz, it's the difficulty check for this is not very hard. You are able to find, through some time and effort, enough to string together. As you bring them down, Vesper is pulling crafting materials out of his bag and is beginning to strap them together. It takes about an hour to build this thing. Would anybody else like to? Let me roll for Vesper. Oh yeah, y'all are good. He rolled a natural 19. Deborah, how would you like to contribute?
Well, I was going to offer to help lash things together, but...
Oh, why don't you go ahead and help? Make a dexterity check for me.
Okay.
More than one person can help do that, so we're good.
21.
Oh my gosh, you did better than he did. Okay. What does this look like for Devereaux?
Quite frankly, I have this magical rope that I've been holding on to.
Oh shit.
And I'm probably going to just direct it to tie the sticks all together without really having to do too much more than indicate along like how to weave it back and forth and like make sure everything's tied off in several places. It's 50 feet of rope, so I don't know how much that will actually work.
That is such a dev thing to do.
Yeah,
that's literally all I'm gonna do right now is use that rope to do it.
Perfect. Vesper is impressed by your ingenuity. Kiri.
At the point where this thing is all constructed, could I use athletics to like row?
Oh yeah, once you're in it, yeah. So what I'm essentially I'm imagining this looks like is a long, almost like imagine. Have y'all played Zelda? The little rafts that are just the base with the little thing sticking up. Imagine this without the thing sticking up. So you are able to climb aboard this kind of rickety construction. After this, all of you pulling together to work on it. Luckily, none of you weigh a lot. In fact, Vesper and Kiri's armor probably outweigh most of y'all. So even as you climb aboard one at a time, it doesn't wobble that much. And as the last of you climb aboard, you find yourselves with a makeshift raft. Kiri, you and Vesper are probably the most suited to push along. And you do so.
You want me to roll for that, or?
Yeah, go ahead and make, what would you like to roll for at athletics?
Athletics, if possible.
Yeah.
That's not great. Can I use an advantage?
You have one advantage left.
All right, let's use it, because
Okay.
I don't want to keep that 4. Oh, that's a lot better. 12 plus 8, 20 total.
Oh, yeah. You and Vesper begin to push yourselves along. And this is an entirely different form of travel than the wind walk. This is slow and a little tedious. Let me get a perception check from everybody.
Sure. Whoops, that's a 1. I mean, plus 4 is a 5, though.
Okay.
21 total for me.
Okay. Devereaux?
It's a 12 minus 1 for an 11.
Okay. And Salix?
22.
Okay. Salix, you feel the most adept at keeping your eyes peeled for any dangers, and currently, there do not seem to be any.
Yeah. Since I'm not helping pull us along, then I'm just keeping an eye out.
Yeah. What would you like to accomplish during this time?
As I'm rowing, I will sort of gesture to the group. So, what have you been up to over the last 6 months?
Kiri, it's only been a day for us. All we really did was get ready to come get you, and here we are.
Oh.
So I suppose the question is, what have you been up to these past 6 months?
It's been that long?
Yeah. You know, well, he saw the family home, so to speak. I must have been staying around there. I understandably don't have many royal duties to perform, so.
You didn't mention anything about royal duties.
I gave it up. I didn't think it would honestly ever become relevant again.
But weren't you just trying to get back there? Here?
Yes and no. I was trying to get back here, just vaguely, to the Feywild, but the place my family lives is not really where I would consider home. I left that place when I was relatively young, and that's not really what I was ever talking about when I said I wanted to go home.
What did you mean? Only because it just seems like you could have found someone like Kiyu to bring you here. But you obviously didn't do that.
There's a small village quite a bit away from the city you saw. I lived there for a while with a partner who, well, I guess we don't really see eye to eye much anymore. So, and as far as finding somebody like Q, it's a little more complicated than that because after the war, my family, the Unseelie Fae, other related factions have a pretty solid control on the area, especially with respect to type of powerful magic users who could send you to one plane or the other. And I really did not like my chances if I were to just approach somebody who was that powerful and hope that rumors of me trying to escape wouldn't make their way back to the wrong people. To say nothing of the possibility that I might have just encountered trouble right then.
Now that you're back, assuming you go back with us to Asmarin, is this still what you want?
No. Definitely not this. I don't even know if what I want is something that exists anymore, quite frankly. But no, given the opportunity, I would certainly leave my family again. That said,
Well,
that said, I don't really want to leave them without figuring out at least vaguely what just happened at my house.
I shoot a glance at Salix and I say, yeah, I think I agree.
it does seem like you've left, though. Even if you're not gone, you can leave and stay in the Feywild, right?
Yeah, I suppose I could, but there's honestly not a whole lot to stay for right now. The place I lived was, last I heard, essentially empty. Right now, the Queen is no longer with us. There are some resistance factions and unorganized militias hiding out in woods and caves. And well, I don't necessarily. I'm not judging them for their decision. I also just wonder how much good can really be done right now.
What do you want, Carrie? We get to this hag's place. She brings Ambrose back to life, we hope. And then?
Then hopefully I can find out what that attack just was and figure things out from there, I suppose.
I wonder why they all looked like you.
That is a good question.
One of them even
Maybe
seemed
so.
to know about you. Sorry, Salix.
I was just gonna say it's a lot easier for people to think that someone's involved in something if everybody looks like them.
Yeah.
It's a great way to frame someone.
Believe me, that's something I've considered, but I couldn't even begin to guess why. The war is over, so it's not like the Unseelie Fae have literally any motivation to deal with me if I'm not even doing anything. And what motivation could the Unseelie Fae possibly have to frame me if I fought for them?
Did
don't
you
really
make any
understand.
contact with them while you were here? When you came
I didn't.
back?
No.
That might
Kiri,
be why.
how many other siblings do you have?
Just the one.
Do you think that the Unseelie thought they have something to gain by killing one and framing the other?
Honestly, no. I would honestly even understand it a little bit if they thought they could get away with killing Ambrose quietly and thinking they would have something to gain with me taking power, which I'm not interested in. But to frame me and kill Ambrose would do nothing. Nothing useful anyway.
I have no idea. I don't know how royalty works, really, so.
In the line of succession, who's after you?
Nobody.
There can't be nobody. There's always somebody. If it's a
Well-
cousin or somebody, there's always somebody.
Is Venvir the next in succession?
In theory, if Venvir had living children, they would be next.
Well, I say nobody. I suppose my cousins, my aunt's child.
Yes, she has one living son, Soren Silvari.
Yeah.
Who is you would know to be a Horizon Walker.
Yeah, well, my aunt left under difficult circumstances, but she does have children who would technically be. She does have a child who technically be the heir to the throne.
Would anyone have something to gain by putting them on the throne? Or maybe they would want to get on the throne. I don't know them, but some people are.
What if it's not about who's on the throne, but an empty throne?
Or a conflict about the throne. Destabilizing family is actually a great way in history to keep people distracted.
I don't know Soren too terribly well, but he never seemed to have royal aspirations to my knowledge. He has a skill set much like Kendall's, and he uses it.
Not to mention this is a Dungeon Master thing. Kiri, he's not full Fae. So he can't be a part of the Seelie Court.
Yeah. The Seelie Court would never take him anyway. They would never accept him as... Well, they would have to accept the fact that he's head of our family at that point, but they would certainly never respect him. He's not fully Fae. So, tainted lineage and all that.
Right, you talked about that while we were in the library. Okay, so I mean it sounds like it's a great recipe to destabilize the family for a while, especially if you have a good plan going.
Mm-hmm.
If you want people distracted, let them squabble over power, right?
And if one day has been 6 months here, And you've been hanging out in the material plane for 15 years? Maybe everyone's mad that you were gone for so long, so I don't. I mean, maybe the Unseelie don't care about you anymore. Sorry, that's a little harsh, isn't it?
A little bit, but it's a good point.
I'm sorry.
Or maybe. Maybe they want you.
Give you no choice.
But then why have... No?
You said it yourself. The Amaranths are... Wait, did we hear that when you said
No,
Amaranths are...
I
No,
said that.
okay.
That's what I was...
Yeah. I was going to say, maybe they wanted it to look like you were going to start a war. Maybe they want it again.
They've got you running out into the wilderness to find a hag, so. I don't know. We're here with you, though. We'll help you solve your problem. Well, I will. I don't know about the rest of everyone.
They're here. I think they're in the process of helping. Unless you two are just along for the ride. Lovely scenery.
I
Just
look,
with the...
I take the cloak that has been kind of covering my arms and my hands. I pull it aside a little bit and I say,
Every moment I'm here, I'm kind of in danger, Kiri, so I think the fact that I'm still here should say a lot.
We're all here for you. In this romantic place.
Stench and all.
Told you, Kiri. We're not looking to lose you again.
You find yourselves settling into the quiet for just a moment, looking around. Salix, you catch a little bit of movement. This up ahead. Can I find the picture? Almost like an animal that's been prowling about and moving quietly and then stops on sight. You notice that there's what looks to be the base of a tree. It has 4 limbs made of that look like roots protruding out from this base, and on top of which is a hut. The hut stops, almost like it's been caught, and then takes a half step back, and then places one of its 4 limbs down, and you watch it root itself. Just up ahead around the bend. This hut is made of wood and straw with a thatch roof. There is a single light on in one window. It's quite small. It waits for you. Almost like it's watching you.
Kiri,
That's ominous.
That's
I
probably
think-
what we're looking for.
I think it found us. That's amazing. I wonder if I could enchant a tree to do that.
I bet you could.
I have a feeling I've got a few more years of study before I'll be able to do that. I still haven't even woven my hut.
A few more years, sure, but I have no doubt you'll be able to get it. At some point.
Thanks, Kiri. Yeah, I guess we'll just pull up nearby it, I guess.
Kiri, you and Vesper gently row your raft up close. It's parked itself long ways between two large trees where you can slip up onto this massive tree root system, and you see a small front door.
Well, here we go.
Should I bring him out now or later, just in case we have to run?
I suppose it can't hurt to wait as long as possible.
Later, yes.
Okay. All right.
Lead the wake up and knock on the door.
As you kind of clamber up the side of this structure and knock on the door, there's a moment of silence. A pregnant pause. Stillness in the air. Come in.
I will proceed. Holding the door for everybody else who's coming in.
You see Vesper hangs in the rear, his eyes wide, with what you can now see, for the first time since you have met this elf, fear. Hold on, I do have a creepy playlist. Hold on. As you file inside, you see a darkened single room. The walls are made of what looks to be the inside of a tree. Roots and branches spread out to make shelves. Small green lanterns hang on little parts that stick out underneath knots and roots. You see on the walls are various items. There's a cage full of bats. It swings gently from side to side. The bats are still motionless, hanging upside down. You see a mask with its lips sewn shut. Just a gnarled hand hanging on a piece of leather. Bottles of various liquid. There's a hole in the ceiling leading out, and in the middle, at the very bottom of this hole, is a fire, over which is a cauldron, boiling with some green light liquid. There are regular things in this hut, of course. A bookshelf full of books, chairs, a table, a bed. And then from around the corner, you see her. Most of you are expecting something gnarled and ugly. Something hideous. Old and decrepit. But that's not what you see. Instead, you see a young woman with pale skin. She has long black hair that is braided thin to one side, with wrappings up that hold the braid together at the end. She walks with a stick at the top of which is a ram's head, a skull, with a red X painted across the forehead. What draws your attention most are her eyes. They are completely, what is it called when there's only a sclera? They're completely black. She has dark eyebrows, and her face, this part of her face around her eyes is either painted or tattooed or colored red with dark red lips. You see she wears a simple gown, and the various parts of her body that are revealed are tattooed with dark symbols. She glances around, at least you see, it seems like she's glancing around. You can't really tell as she has no pupils, no irises. Hello. Welcome. Care for some tea? You're muted.
No. Thank you.
Oh. Pity. What brings you to Agathis today?
My brother died recently, hours ago.
You see?
I was wondering if you could bring him back.
Perhaps. But as you know, I am not in the business of charity. Come have a seat.
Take a seat.
She gestures to this round table with precisely enough chairs for everybody.
Sit next to Kiri.
Kendall Salix.
I'll sit on the other side of Dev.
And I'll sit next to Kiri.
I know who you are. Prince. She holds out her hand and a dagger. Give us a taste.
What specifically is she asking me to do?
She wants you to place your hand into hers for a taste of your
Okay.
blood.
Okay, I will do that.
You want to
Slowly turn and look at Kiri like, what is this? Just that look on my face. I don't actually say anything.
She takes the dagger and just gently scrapes it along your fingertip and then brings the edge of the dagger to her lips. An honest prince. Fascinating. Ah, yes. We can deal. I give you your brother's life in exchange for another life. That I will collect when the time is right.
I don't suppose you would make me aware whose life that would be.
You'll know it when I arrive, when I call. This is my price. Do you accept?
I'm gonna sort of nudge Felix. Could I make a counter offer?
Oh, oh. Oh, goosebumps. Let me have it.
How about some Draconis Fundamentum?
That voice. heard that voice before. You speak with the voice of your ancestors.
Perhaps. Can't say I've heard all of their voices.
Give us a taste.
I look at Kendall across the table.
You'll see Kendall's face, or my face, just probably scared. But also, you can tell that there's nothing going on inside there. Just he doesn't know what to do. He's out of his element. You're the smart one. He's got no answers for you in his face right now, except for
So
fear.
nothing new. Okay. I love you, Fuzzy. I very reluctantly give her my hand.
It won't hurt but a bit. She takes another dagger from her belt, this one with the blade of, or the pommel that looks like it's made of bone. And she's right, it doesn't hurt, as she slices the tip of your finger and then brings it to her lips. She lets go of your hand. An honest wood elf with much to hide. Fascinating. I can hear them all, can't you? No. No. You have no idea what I speak of. Willow. The willow. You didn't even know what you were signing up for. It's probably for the best. Draconis fundamentum. Interests me not.
Whose
Very
life
well
is
then.
it?
Not everybody speak at once.
Whose life?
Oh, I don't know that yet. No one in this room, surely. Tea while you wait.
No, thank you.
She reaches for the teapot and pours herself a cup and begins to sip.
I'm gonna sort of shoot a look to everybody else in the room, try and gauge their reaction.
Kendall spooked. But like normally he's like fidgety. Normally I'm fidgety. Normally like I'm looking around, just looking at everything, but this time you see me, I'm just intently like staring at this at Agatha.
I can make you a deal for the Draconis Fundamentum, but it will not be your brother's life.
What would it be?
Secrets, of course.
You know who I am. Do you know what happened this morning?
What happened? Earlier. Yes. An invasion. A chaos. An archfey. The Prince of Frost.
Do you know
Lord.
why?
Lord of the Long Night. Bitter and cruel. The son of Titania. Has an interesting past. She looks at you, Kendall. Just for a moment. Now he hopes to resurrect the Queen, to bring her back, restore the balance. Have you something to say, Prince?
I mean, I, Alex, am sitting here thinking you couldn't have led with that, but I, as Kiri, will not say that. Well, that was... Would you care to tie all of that together for me?
The fundamentum.
I pull out 2 large vials, each 1,000 gold worth of fundamentum. And I put them on the table.
She takes it in her palm and uncorks it. Gives it a long smell. Brings it to her lips. Takes a taste. Hi, Elf. You've been quiet. You notice Vesper sitting, unfortunately, directly across from her, eyes wide. Long black hair kind of pulled back into his ponytail. Whoever is sitting next to him, probably Salix and Kiri, can see him white-knuckling under the counter. He just remains quiet. And you, halfling? Give us a taste. It's only polite, after all.
This is polite company, after all. I'll slowly reach my hand across the table. If I have to get up on the table, I will.
She leans over, pricks your finger. You see this time, not with a dagger, but with a long nail on her pinky.
Oh, come on.
Divine soul. How beautiful. But irrelevant here, I'm afraid. Prince. The Prince of Frost seeks you out. Wants you to run. Wants you to run the Unseelie court. Wants you to bring back the queen. To whom you call out at night and your darkest of hours, her cold breath on your lips. They say she can be raised with a kiss. Bring out your brother. Would anybody care for some tea? And that's where we're going to take our quick break. Sorry that we went over players. Getting a little involved here. All right, sweet friends, please get up and go love your pets and stretch and get some water. And we'll be right back. Oh, baby, I love your madness. Oh, baby, I love your madness. Welcome to our Patreon. Here on Open for Adventure, we are making high-quality Dungeons & Dragons content, folks. We have a great big world to share with you, and by becoming a patron, you can help us explore and expand upon this adventure. With your support, we can invest in more amazing artwork, better mics, fancy cameras, and overall stream quality. Not to mention, help us get some amazing new merch that we can use for giveaways. What do you get by becoming a patron? I'm so glad you asked. Let's take a look at the different levels and give you a sneak peek at what you can get at each tier. Did you know that the family of the First Lord Theo, the leader of the rebellion against the Empire, actually invented firearms nearly 25 years prior to the current campaign? The designs for this high-tech weapon are the Delaney family's best-kept secret. Also, they were originally invented by the late First Lady Victoria, Theo's mother. Access to lore leaks like this is what you can expect from the first tier, written in blog-style posts after each weekly session. Ever wonder what goes on off-camera? The next 3 tiers give you exactly that. With Stolen Moments, you can get access to text-based roleplay moments, highlighting experiences that don't make it onto the stream, like Leona's training session with Ray and Asmra. Stolen Moments Plus gives you access to roleplay moments featuring our guests, non-player characters, and historical figures, featuring the likes of Marshall, Annalena, and even the Empress herself. And Roleplay Addiction takes us to a whole other level. This tier gives you exclusive 30-minute videos of canon interactions not otherwise seen on stream, like late-night drunken interactions between paladins or tender moments featuring your favorite character ships. The Warm Fuzzies is super simple. It's everything I've listed so far, and also you get your name on stream after our weekly regular sessions. Every session. And our undying love. And finally, the most epic of all Patreon tiers. Drum roll, please. The Lore Master. This ultimate and final tier gets you first look access at all of the content going into our upcoming, official, open for adventure campaign setting. Lore, maps, monsters, items, dungeons, dragons. Go ahead, have a look around, make yourself at home, and consider becoming a patron to help us make this fantasy world a little bit closer to reality.
Oh, hi! My name is Express Love. I'm the Senmarian god of coffee. Did you know that in Senmaria, every cup of coffee is made with found familiar coffee beans? That's canon. In Senmaria, every cup of coffee is good coffee because it's made with love by found familiar. Did you know that every bag of found familiar coffee features artwork from incredible members of the tabletop gaming community? That's canon. Each blend and roast of found familiar coffee features cool D&D names like Thieves' Cant, Face Step, and Pact Magic. In Senmaria, every royal meeting that Ray attends features the Cartographer's Blend, a brew of coffee made by found familiar in conjunction with Devon Rue. Now that's canon. Found familiar coffee. Buy it today.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Oh, baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless. I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Give me your freedom. Whoa, yeah, me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Oh, baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so
Welcome back. Our fated four are, well, only five plus Vesper, are in Agatha's hut in the Feywild. She has just instructed you, Kiri, to take your brother out, or bring forth your brother.
Yeah, I'll work on getting him out of the bag.
As you
Very
do,
carefully.
as you do, you notice her busying herself with various things around her hut. She's collecting bottles. She pulls the gnarled hand down, ties it around her neck, cuts off a snippet of her own hair, puts it in a bottle with some liquid, and shakes it around. All the while singing to herself in a dark, twisted Sylvan song.
As we're kind of finagling him out of the bag, I just whisper to Kiri,
Are you sure about this? We don't even know whose life she's going to take.
I don't really have any other option, and I'm gonna
We'll continue.
sort of try and give Salix a look that's like, we'll talk about this later, but also not here.
As you pull Ambrose's body out, she instructs you to lay him across the table. Can you describe to us a little bit more about what he looks like, Kiri?
Yeah, sure. So, broadly speaking, Ambrose looks like me. He's a little bit shorter. He is usually found in his summer or his spring form. I imagine that right now he's probably in his summer form, so he's very. He's got this golden complexion, these fiery yellow eyes, long blonde hair, not wearing armor or anything remotely that could be considered to be very functional clothing, but it looks real nice. It looks great. And what I imagine just whatever you think a Eladrin royalty looks like, probably pretty close to that. Just this very flamboyant, ostentatious young man who very much enjoys his wealth.
Perfect. Thank you, Kiri. This hag begins to approach the table, bringing over various candles and parchment. You're not sure if any of this is useful or helpful or important to whatever she's about to be doing, but it appears so. All of a sudden, she stops singing. And all of the lights in this hut begin to dim. At first, you feel almost as if you're blacking out, losing consciousness. But instead, all of the lights go to the smallest form they can take. It is barely considered dim light in here. Kendall, say
Salix is going to start looking around. I'm looking for any threats inside or outside the hut if I can see anything outside.
Roll perception.
Same for me.
Also roll.
Oh, that was good.
15 for me.
19?
Okay. This is some sort of magical darkness, you realize, Salix, because your vision is impeded. You do not sense, outside of your visual perception, any incoming threats, whether they be from outside the hut or within. What you do see, same for you, Kendall, of course, what you do see is Agatha begin to dance, spinning, every once in a while stopping and slamming her staff down onto the floor. And as she does, the whole house reverberates, whatever. She takes another dagger, cuts open her palm, and squeezes it tight. You watch brackish blood drip from her fist. One drop lands on Ambrose's forehead. And with it, Ambrose comes back to life. His eyes open in a start before he falls back unconscious. It is done. You may take him.
I'll pick him up.
You immediately cast Cure Wounds on him.
Easy enough, yeah.
Yeah.
He will sleep for some time. And when he wakes, he will remember not. But I remember. I will remember the bargain, Prince. And you will not forget what is promised.
No, I don't think I will.
I see why she has her eye on you.
Ambrose has 13 hit points.
Silently choose to believe that's a compliment.
Would you like to know where she is?
I would.
For that. For that. I'll need more than a taste.
What would you need?
A kiss. A kiss that is not yours to give. She looks at Vesper. Vesper glances around. What? You heard me. Come here.
Vesper, you don't have to do that.
Who is she?
Right now, that's not important.
Carrie. I left everything to come to the Feywild for you. It's not a matter of what I'm willing to do. I just need to know. Tell me the truth.
She is the Queen of Air and Darkness. An Archfey. The Archfey. She is the one I wait for. The person I sing to at night. She's my purpose.
Vesper looks at you. With furrowed brow. And then he walks to Agatha. Back straight, head up. And you watch as he meets her for a kiss. As this happens, the rest of you would notice Agatha's eyes wide open, glow bright golden. Almost as if she's inhaling something from him. When Vesper pulls back, he's breathless, and you're not sure if it's from the kiss or from something else. He turns and walks out the door.
I follow immediately.
Same.
I start to, but then I realize that Ambrose is still just laying there, so I'll
Oh
pick
no,
him
I would
up.
have been holding him.
Oh yeah,
You were holding him? Okay.
Yeah.
if
And I go
Kiri
out.
didn't have him, Salix picked him up.
Yeah, no, he's good.
Then I just wait for Dev to make sure that Dev doesn't stay there by themselves.
Can I get some of that tea to go? What?
She passes you her cup.
Is that a to go? What? Kendall?
I'm sorry, what did you say? Run?
What? I'll take the cup. What's it smell like?
Peppermint.
Oh, well, that's great. Thanks. I'll take this with me, and then I'll leave.
You're not gonna drink that, are you, Dev?
Say hello to your father for me.
I turn around. What?
Nothing.
You don't think she knows my dad, do you? And then I just turn and leave.
Before you leave, Kiri, she turns to you. And hands you the dagger that she used to draw your blood. Attune to this, and you'll see her. You'll see where she lays, entombed, waiting for you.
I will nod and walk out the door.
As soon as the last of you steps off of this platform that her hut resides on, it begins to uproot and walk away deeper into the bog.
I really need to figure out how to make my house do that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
I wonder
That's
if
pretty
I can
good.
come back here and have her teach me some things one day.
You didn't. Okay.
What?
No, I was.
She seemed like a perfectly reasonable person.
I was just looking at Dev. I didn't think that they would have drank that tea.
Wait, do we all see that you drank the tea?
I totally do. Just as we're all watching the house walk away.
Dev,
What?
Where did you get that tea?
They got it from Agatha.
I asked for it to go.
I thought you were gonna study it. Why did you just drink it?
Well, what else do you do with tea? You don't study tea, you drink it.
She didn't
What
seem a
was
little
rule number
untrustworthy?
don't
Not
drink
to
or
accept
eat
food.
anything.
No food.
Dev,
I'm like examining
Can
Dev
we-
now. How do you feel? Do you feel okay?
Dev, tea counts as food.
No, tea
Food
counts
or drink.
as a
Food
beverage.
and drink. Food and drink go hand in hand here, okay? Please just don't take
Well, you
anything
could have.
from anyone that's not me.
You could have told me that before I did it. Hindsight's 2020, right?
Come on, let's get back on the.
This is really refreshing.
Well, let's
Sure
hope
it
that's
is
all
now.
it does.
I turn to Vesper.
Are you okay?
Devereaux, you
Vesper?
feel fine. Oh, you're talking to Vesper? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yep. You okay, Vesper?
Fine.
I don't believe you, but okay.
And I get on the boat and get ready to go.
I'd rather not wait around forever if you don't mind.
Vesper has already taken up one of the rowing oars.
I'll take up the other.
Okay. I jump on.
Yeah, I do too.
While we're going, I'm not really going to say anything, but can I keep an eye on Vesper to see if I notice anything has like changed or if I notice anything weird going on?
Why don't you roll insight?
Can I use my auto crit on that? Because I
Yes, you
really want
can.
to know what's going on.
I'll
As
message
much
you.
as can be known. Okay.
No, I'll tell you. It's fine.
Okay.
He seems paler, which is striking considering he's a pretty fair elf. It almost looks as though he's had he's aged. He seems even more stoic, even more quiet, contemplative.
Would I be able to determine if this seems like something that is temporary?
It's hard to tell. But he doesn't say anything on the way back.
Sure.
Is there anything you would like to accomplish on the way back?
Keep an eye on everybody. Keep an eye around us.
Finish my tea.
As you get to the bottom of your tea, Devereaux, you notice that this is the tea that had leaves in it. And they are stuck to the bottom.
Well, that's not how you brew. And I'll like reach in and scrape at the bottom of the cup. You know, for an all-seeing hag, she's not very good at actually making tea, I guess. And I'll see if I can pull up whatever's clumped on the bottom of the cup.
You don't look at it, you just immediately go and pull it up?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just tea leaves. There's definitely some peppermint in there.
I'll just flick it into the bog.
As you do it, sizzles.
Ooh. Well, that's concerning. Well, I wasn't expecting a cup, but stick it in my stuff. Free cup.
After about 30 minutes of traveling through this bog, you notice that Devereaux begins to glow.
Hey,
Wait.
Dev, you're glowing
Um,
more than usual today.
More than usual? I don't glow at all.
Are you sure you're feeling okay?
What color am I glowing?
Faint white, faint, gentle white light.
Is it like all around them or just the exposed skin?
All around them.
Oh, so putting like a cloak over them won't help it at all. Great.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to put, and then I go and like poke their shoulder to see if I
No.
feel anything.
Why are you poking me like that?
You're looking weird.
Excuse me?
This is why you don't take food or drink from any unknown fae.
She seemed all right, I think. I mean,
Yes, but now you're glowing, and you don't normally glow. This can't be good.
it could be coincidental. They're not necessarily related. Right?
I guess I can't argue with that. But also, she'd like to taste you. She tasted you. And Kiri. And Salix.
And Vesper.
Salix, as you begin to look your friend over, you notice that every once in a while something falls from the back, like as if a wind was blowing by. Something falls from their back. Something light and airy.
Can I try to catch whatever it is?
Yeah, make a dexterity check.
Oof. Oh gosh. No, that's a D10. Ooh, that was good. That was good. Just to check.
Yep.
Dirty 20.
You pluck from the air a single white feather.
Dev, you're glowing and you're shedding as well.
Shedding?
Well, yes.
And I put it up so you can see it.
Wait, you saying I dropped this?
Yeah, well, you seem to actually be making kind of a trail of them.
As they drop one occasionally, I'm going to try to get them so that people can't use that to follow us. Because Salix is paranoid now.
I'm definitely helping.
Kiri,
Salix,
do you mind rowing for a while? Okay,
Yeah,
Deb.
sure.
Do you feel funny at all?
No, I feel perfectly fine, but I'm a little concerned you wouldn't say that I'm molting instead of shedding. You of all people would know the nomenclature for that.
You're not concerned about the feathers, though?
Well, I mean...
That's what you're concerned about?
This is all...
Apologies. I haven't studied birds as much as I have four-legged critters that walk on the ground. They're a little bit easier to get to. So, yes,
No, Petals,
you're molting, but, have you ever molted before?
I can't say I've ever had feathers before. Do you see
that's
any?
New. Do you mind if I take a peek? I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I will look to see if Dev is sprouting feathers.
As you pull back their shirt, kind of looking down their back, you pull across their shoulder and you see little feathers just along their shoulder line.
Why, yes, Dev, you are growing your first set of feathers. I'm so proud of you.
Halflings don't grow feathers.
Well, you are.
Am I turning into a chicken?
No, you're far too brave for
that. No, but seriously, what's going on here? And I'll rip my shirt off.
Not entirely sure.
I gotta say, I'm a little jealous now.
Well, different bodies mature at different rates, and I started showing druidic powers when I was around my 5th or 6th year, and you never developed them, but you started developing other things, Fuzzy, and well,
That's true.
maybe Dev is now just, because your dad's an angel. Maybe you're finally developing your wings.
My dad's a jerk.
Well,
A jerk with wings, though, right?
yeah, but that would make your physicality as half jerk and half halfling. That it means that you might mature at a different speed than other halflings. Biology is really complicated.
Hey, Dev, if you grow wings, then we can call you a half-wing. That's pretty cool, though, right?
Kendall, I don't
The first
wanna
of your kind.
laugh at
And then
that.
you'll be famous just like you wanted.
I don't know if this is the kind of famous I want, but do they at least look nice?
Well, not right now,
You're
but
getting there.
yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean,
Okay.
no brand new feathers look good as they're coming in, but I'm sure with a little bit of time, because they're coming in very quickly, actually, as far as feathers go. But with time, I'm sure they'll be beautiful. And if I learn enough, then maybe I can turn into a bird too, and we can fly together.
You think I'm turning into a bird?
Well, no, but I mean that's as close as I can get to what.
Well, we don't know that you're not turning into a bird.
Anything's possible in the Feywild, isn't it?
And you did drink that tea. I don't know if
The
that's
tea
related
was
or not.
fine. The tea was fine. It was quite good. Oh, all right.
Dev, not everything that is bad for you actually tastes bad, and not everything that tastes good is actually good for you.
You sound just like my mom.
Well, you're right.
Doesn't mean they're wrong.
Now you sound just like my sister.
Hey, do you think maybe you could, those little wings you're starting to grow, you think you can flap them a little bit? Try.
Cross my arms and I sit down. No.
Well,
No.
I mean, you're not going to fly with that attitude, Dev.
I don't know if I want to fly.
You don't have to, Dev.
Well, they could have been worse.
Like what? What could be worse?
You.
We're all still alive right now. We got him back. We got some answers. More answers than we were expecting, even. Lots of things could be
Definitely.
worse.
Definitely more than we were expecting.
Okay, that's all fair. Sorry, I'll try and keep my shedding to a minimum. Sorry, I'll try and keep my molting to a minimum, and I'll just start gathering up the feathers as I keep dropping them. I'm just making a little pile.
Hey, if this goes on long enough, you can make yourself a pillow.
After a while, you do stop molting.
I could make a pillow out of this. That's a great idea.
It's like making
I
a
hold up-
doll out of your own hair.
I held up some of the feathers. Would it be weird if I kept a couple of these?
Probably.
Ooh! Dev, you could supply your own quills.
I mean,
I'm just waste not, want not. It's just, the thing.
Or make your own,
anyways.
make your own arrows.
I'm just gonna put these in a bag for now.
Hello!
And I just
This whole time, like, not the whole time, but since Kendall has feathers, like, tied into his hair, he's like, he replaced one of them with one of Dev's feathers.
Onto your boat, your raft, a kitsune lands. Hello! How did it go?
Oh, it's cute.
Gesture at Amber.
Is he alive?
Well, he's alive. He's sleeping, but well, I can't imagine he minds that very much.
She like gently pokes him a little bit. Oh, well, okay. Well, you're all still alive. Congratulations. You survived, Hagatha.
We were all thinking it.
You're not wrong. Maybe we should continue on. Where would you like to go from here? Back to the city, I suppose?
Yeah, it'd be best to just drop him back at the house.
House.
Not. Yeah, it gets really awkward if you call it anything else. But
Well,
anyway.
how do we want to get back? I can do the windwalk thing again.
Does it work on sleeping people?
No,
I can't
but
put him in
I've
a
been
bag this time.
thinking about that. What if you just strapped him to your back and then he's your item?
I mean, if you think that will work, you know the spell best, I imagine. So,
We could try it.
Dev, do you have that rope, Dev?
Oh yeah. Once everyone's off of the raft, I will speak the command word to have the rope untie itself and coil back up for me.
Whoa, that was so cool, Dev.
And then the raft just kind of splits apart at the front where the rope was. Wow. Dragon treasure. You find the weirdest stuff.
Dev, that's a great rope. I'm really glad you got it.
Me too.
You find yourself once again on the edge of the bog, right where you began. Well, are we ready?
How ready does Vesper look?
Neither ready nor unready?
Okay.
Okay. Anything we need to, everybody? Okay, well, let's go! She begins to take a minute again. You watch. Cast the spell one more time of Windwalk. And just as before, you find yourself transforming, this time with much more ease. No skill checks required. You find yourselves lifting up into the air. And then, at Kyu's command, darting forward. At a pace unbelievable. Unparalleled. Faster than you've ever gone in your lives. Got ya. Ha-ha! It's hard to take in the sights and sounds around you as you travel at a breakneck speed. Darting between the trees, through rivers, over mountains, until once again you find yourselves standing on a plateau, On a cliff. It's quiet here. As you touch down,
And if she gets dirty, she cleans it with a ragatha.
fuck you! Fuck you, chicken strips! I'm crying right now. Oh my god. Looking down on the city of Serene. It is about this time when you see your brother start to wake. Kiri.
I'll sort of like set him down and just wait until he wakes up.
Easy enough. He comes to confused, and you see him like reach for his chest where he had been stabbed. Look down. Kiri. What happened?
Well, we left the city and we found some help.
Help for what?
You had quite the injury for a while there.
Oh. Thank you. Thank you, I think.
Don't mention it.
What, he looks around and sees the castle. He looks back at you, kind of curious. You aren't coming back, are you?
Not this time. Look, Zephyr can fill you in on the details, I imagine. She wouldn't be too hard to contact, but it's best I stay away for a while.
Yeah. I understand. Do you want me to say anything?
Nah. I can't imagine it would be too hard for anybody to figure out what's going on. There is one thing, though. I'm going to, produce the sword, which I have, also at this point, I imagine, wrapped very heavily, so if Ambrose were to take it, he wouldn't, like, I don't know, get vaporized or something. I didn't really know what was about to happen, and I needed something to... Anyway, this is, if it's anything, I think this is technically yours, so, if you want to bring this back.
You touched it.
Yeah,
Kiri,
it doesn't work.
that means it's yours.
Well. Are you sure?
Yeah. You've been gone a long time. About, 10 years ago, our parents suggested that I try. Like every amaranth tries. It rejected me. as it has every amaranth. I always wondered if it was because we were actually bastards and not really amaranths.
Crossed my mind too.
But the fact that you can hold it. Wow. Figures it would go to the black sheep.
Sure, Mom and Dad will be thrilled.
They don't need to know.
Thanks.
I can go from here myself. Just
Whatever.
Go ahead.
You know what living at home for me is like. I'm not going to pretend it's been fun, but whatever happens, I just want you to know I was never running away from you.
I will never understand you. But, that's okay. I think. He kind of claps you on the shoulder.
I'm going to give him a hug, which he probably hates, but I'm going to do it anyway.
He is a little uncomfortable, but he takes it. And then he slowly gets to his feet, brushes himself off, straightens his jacket, fixes his hair, gives you all a wave. And begins to climb down the cliff face towards the palace.
I walk up next to Kiri. Are you ready?
Give me just a bit. How long does it take to attune to an item?
30 minutes.
I'll be back. I need to take a look at something.
Do you think it's a really good idea to walk away? Can we just sit here for a few minutes?
Sure, I suppose.
Okay.
Does it seem relatively safe here?
Make a perception check.
Oh, that's not good.
That 11.
Seems relatively safe here.
Okay. I will sit with my back up against a large tree and keep an eye out for anybody or any threats coming.
I'd like to sit down next to like the same fashion, except a tree like facing Salix. That way she can see behind me and I can see behind her.
I'm gonna tune to this thing and see what happens.
Okay. Kiri. Let us pull up the music. You sit down and begin to focus. Closing your eyes. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. It's dark where you are. You feel your hands grip the blade and the hilt. It's frigid here. You recognize that you are in a cave. A cave made of ice. There's a pathway ahead of you, spiraling downward. For the first time, you feel cold. Devereaux, Kendall, Salix, you would notice Kiri shivering, trembling slightly. Kiri, as you begin to walk forward, you see her laying on a bed of ice. Sharp, angled features, long, purple hair, a crown made of ice and iron. Wings splayed out across her back, fallen to the sides. Her eyes are closed. She is the most beautiful thing you have ever seen. And you see a dagger embedded in her abdomen. A dagger made of flame that she holds, clutches in this suspense. What do you do?
Oh dear. I'm gonna try and take the dagger out.
You going to approach her?
Yeah, sure.
You walk down these stairs, slippery steps. And as you place your hands around the dagger, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Keep in mind you do have an auto crit.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that was like real not good. Yeah, sure. I'll use the auto crit.
Okay.
Got a +8 to my con saves and rolled 2. Thanks. High octane throws of probability.
It begins to burn in a way that you know only one thing can, and that's Fey fire. You are going to take 40 points of fire damage as tendrils of flame begin to wrap up your arms and come around your neck, choking you. You pull the dagger out and immediately drop it, I'm assuming. It clatters to the ground. And you see the tendrils begin to die down, but you notice burns, welts where they were. It stings still.
They get burns on them in real life.
Not that you would see through their clothing. Kiri, you notice that the Queen of Air and Darkness's hands remain there. What do you do?
Now that any danger, air quotes, seems gone, I feel really weird. Like, almost ashamed to be in her presence, especially as she's unaware of it. But I will slowly head up to or just kind of probably just stare at her face for a long time, because I know what I was told to do, but also that's a lot.
The temperature begins to drop slowly. You see, she is still bleeding.
It's kind of look both ways. I'm sorry. I will proceed to kiss her? Question mark?
What does this look like?
Just kind of walking up to the sort of upper half of her body, just looking for a while, just looking down and away from her. But slowly sort of turning my head, I will place one hand on the side of her face and just lean in, give her a kiss.
At first, it's like kissing ice. Your lips almost freeze. And then you hear a slight breath of an inhale. And you feel a hand at the back of your neck, tracing down your chest. As she returns this kiss with fervor. She pulls back, and you feel both of her frozen hands on your face. You came for me, my champion.
As we both pull back, I just sort of like stare at her in shock. Just, my God.
If you will let her, she will pull you back down for another kiss. And as this happens, you feel the air sucked from your lungs, pulled out, replaced with ice and void and darkness. But it doesn't hurt. It's like jumping into a frozen lake on a hot day. It's the darkness of sleep after a long fight. And you feel the wounds from the burns ice over. And as she pulls away again, you see her smile. The smallest smile you've ever beheld. And everything goes dark. With one blink, one fraction of a moment of time, the world slips beneath you. And when you open your eyes again, you see your friends.
I'm going to sort of reach inside myself as if I were going to cast a spell. Does anything seem different? I'm trying to see if any of that just actually happened.
What spell do you try and cast?
Oh jeez, it's going to be a fucking first level spell because I'm out of second. I would try and cast Bless.
On?
I'm gonna say myself as part of as a reflex,
Sure.
and then maybe Vesper and Salix, let's say.
As you reach within this well inside of you and try to tap into it, there is something there, something extra, like going for water and finding wine. And as you cast this spell, you exhale, your breath turns to vapor. And you feel the burns flare up your arms, up to your neck. There's something there. Something new. Something terrifying.
She's alive. She's alive.
What?
Huey, are you okay?
I'll stand up and start to go to them to figure out if,
Are you hurt or are you okay?
She's alive.
What are they talking about? Kiri.
I just kind of offer my arms for them if
Yeah, going for a hug.
I'll just kind of hold you and stroke your hair when you cry.
It's okay, Huey. It's okay.
You feel a strong hand on your back from Vesper. And if there's nothing else, I think that's a great place to call it. Okay.
Our card check, everybody, please.
All right, let's go ahead and sign off. Who wants to start?
Okay, hi.
Oh, no, you said it first.
Go ahead, Eris.
Hi, I'm Eris Sabad. I do lots of stuff. I make things. You can find the things I make at erisabad.com. Because you're watching the show, if you use the code O4ABAY, you can save 10% off of what's in store right now in the Handmade Shop. You can find me Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yes, that includes tomorrow at about 9 a.m. Eastern time-ish, whenever we feel like it, on Gnome's channel for a morning show that we call Gnome Brew. It's essentially where we're just talking bullshit and having coffee and waking up together. It's great. It's a good time. Yeah, also tomorrow night, if you like Call of Cthulhu, you can find on my channel at 8 p.m. Eastern time a Clockwork Vines, which is a Flora Punk Call of Cthulhu game where Honey and Dice is running us through once again Call of Cthulhu, only she took out all of the rules she didn't like, and it's very fun. We met armadillos last time. It's a great time. Yeah. And find me here on Sundays, please, lovely people. Can I just say the emotion that Alex showed just now? Whew!
Kills me.
Favorite. You just went full on bawling, crying in like 2 seconds. And gosh, I felt that. Oof. Gosh, you just slay me, friend. You slay me. Okay. That's it for me.
All right, Alex. I love that web caption.
All right. Hey, hi, everybody. I'm Alex. When I'm not here ugly crying on stream, I also run a game of Invisible Sun, which is coming to its grand finale this coming week. 90% chance this is a grand finale. 10% chance we might need an extra session, but you know what? That's on the players, because I have no idea what's about to happen. But anyway, Invisible Sun features some of the lovely people you see on screen before you, including Camille, and also including Ren, and some of the lovely people you see in chat, including Mare and Mindy. And yeah, so definitely come check out the finale of our wonderful, wonderful game. And I would not be surprised if there's crying there also. I'm going to be real honest. But that's another story. Yeah, the only other thing I really have going on right now is that if you're interested in playing Numenera, definitely reach out to me, because I'm trying to get a relatively long-term game set up starting in early September, running to probably early to mid-December. So yeah, definitely reach out to me if you're interested in playing any sort of weird science fantasy game, because that's the next project. And let's see, favorite part of the session. I gotta admit, I love the molting. I loved Eris coming in like different bodies mature at different rates, and just telling Dev that not everything that tastes good is good for you, and not everything that is good for you tastes good. That all of the molting conversation was just fun. That was just fun. And yeah, that's all I got.
Thank you, Alex.
Do it, calling someone.
Ren.
Damn. Hi, I'm Ren. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Thorny Dryad. That's like a prickly bush. When I'm not playing Sunday Friends, I am also part of Alex's Invisible Sun game on Thursdays, which is ending on this Thursday. Maybe, you know, they just said a whole bunch of stuff about it. So if you weren't paying attention, I'm sorry. Beyond that, I guess that's about all I got going on. So that's great. No, that isn't all I've got going on. I almost freaking forgot I'm a voice of a character in a podcast called Roads Uncharted. How could I almost forget about that? Check us out on Simplecast, or you can subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, or Google Podcasts. It's a good show put on by the lovely GM Dax. And don't yell at me, Dax. I did it. Thank you. And I think my favorite part of the session, oh boy, Honestly, I liked. There's a lot of good stuff here, but one of my favorite instances was everyone reluctantly putting Ambrose's body in the bag because we haven't already seen that yet, except for the living person. So I just thought that was pretty great.
You want to know something funny?
What?
If Kiyu didn't suggest we strap Ambrose to somebody, I was gonna suggest that we put him in up to like his arms in the bag and just let like the arms up just stick out of the bag and just like, well, this is what we're doing now. Just watch his arms flail around wildly.
Oh my god. Juan Carlos.
Hey, y'all. I'm Carlos. I play Kendall. Only on Sundays, though. On Thursdays, I play a different character, very much different character on Unmade Gaming's channel, where we play The Expanse, a space drama type thing that's really crazy. So if you like space, come join us Thursdays. I also am going to be premiering a short-term campaign on this channel, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. And if you want...
You muted yourself.
Because I hit space. Awesome. The Open for Adventure channel just tweeted something for your eyeballs to peep at. So go check that out. And then I help produce a podcast called The Roleplay Cafe, where Stacy and Dax, Pixelcat and Dax, interview people around the community and quiz them on stuff that they're not comfortable getting quizzed on. And that's all I got for now.
Thank you, Juan Carlos. I am Camille, your host and Dungeon Master. I make dice trays. I play an Invisible Sun. I run Fate's Chosen. I'm like, what do I do here? I don't know. Fate's Chosen, which is on Monday nights. Tomorrow night we are facing a full bar of corruption, and it's going to be very exciting. I also have a new campaign coming up, which the applications are closing tonight at midnight for. It's your last chance to apply. I'm very excited about. There's a lot of new stuff coming up on the channel soon, including this game by Juan Carlos and we had a great one shot yesterday by Mare. We've got a new one shot coming up by Luke. It's gonna be really great. If you'd like to become a part of the channel, please join our Discord. That is where the fun and the magic happens. Let me just do our warm fuzzies. Our warm fuzzies are Belle Chavez,
Chavez.
Christina,
Christina.
Sev,
Who?
Sev,
Oh, Sev. Okay.
Quincy,
Quincy.
and our Fellowship of the Tables Bay of Gifts. Game our lives with a 1 and a 3.
Gamer lives on 13.
Mitch
Exclusively with a 1 and a 3.
Mitch D.
Mitch D.
And Orion.
All right.
Okay, that's everybody. If you'd like to be a Warm Fuzzy, subscribe to our Patreon. It's a good time. That's gonna be it for today, y'all. We are gonna go do some decompression after our session. If you would, if you want to know more about how we decompress after sessions, which I highly encourage, message me on Discord and I can tell you about it. Okay, that's it. I think we're going to go now. I love you all very much. Okay, bye.